And basically, after doing all the math, it was like, I can live for free.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is enticing. Right?
That's a key. A lot. What's up, fruitful investors? I'm standing here with Jeff Wybo from London. We'll be talking to him about multifamily properties. He's one of the organizers that put on OREC. If you saw on my channel, one of the events I spoke at about joint venture attraction. This is the man who helped put it on. Let's talk to him about multifamily.
Hey guys,
so,
thank you, yeah.
What was your first multifamily deal like? Where was it? What were the numbers like?
Well, yeah, so OREC was in London, Ontario, so that's where I live, and this is where I ended up buying my first deal. And you got to go all the way back to 2012, and we're RAIN members to this day right now, but I wasn't a RAIN member back then, and I didn't have the Fruitful Investors YouTube channel to help me out, or the Matt McKeever channel. I had like one buddy who was a RAIN member, and you know, everybody likes to give you all this advice on like what rental property to buy, and like sometimes it's not the right advice.
For sure.
Maybe, or they just try to tell you like, oh, you don't want to be a landlord. It's all toilets and midnight phone calls and this and that, which is pretty far from the truth, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So I listened to the one guy who was this RAIN member, and he just, we found this triplex, and I had just, I'm in the Army at the time, and I got back, and I had all this capital, and I wanted to buy a place, and he did the spreadsheet on this property. It was a triplex that was good for the University of Western Ontario students. I thought, oh, this is perfect. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna live in the basement of this 2-bedroom, and there's 3-bedroom unit and another 3-bedroom unit. And basically, after doing all the math, it was like, I can live for free. And I was like, this is enticing.
That's
right?
a key. A lot of people on this channel ask me about how to start investing, and then one of the best ways is like rental hacking, which is what you're
and I didn't know all the terms we talk about now, like house hacking and rental hacking. I just was like, cool, the people above me pay for me. And I didn't, if you heard, eventually when I got it, you heard those footsteps. I just called those like money footsteps, right? You're just like, whereas maybe another renter in the basement, he might complain about it in the future, but when I was living down there, I was like, hey, whatever, right? Like, exactly, they'd become my tenants. So there was this triplex pretty close to downtown London, Ontario. There was, you know, I think there were 7 offers on the property, and I put in a over 17K over at the time, and my realtor at the time said, oh, that was really good, but you're not going to get it because it was purpose-built triplex.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Okay, yeah, it was a good one. And he called me pretty much being like, well, can you close on an earlier date? And I was like, sure, I'm not doing anything. Like, I just...
That's one of the advantages we have as investors. We can close whenever. Sometimes we get a better price for that, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because my realtor wanted all this extra fire ratings and all this stuff, and I didn't even know what he was doing at the time. And I think they took my offer, which was, I kind of heard through the grapevine afterwards, sometimes you can kind of get it. Because what's the first thing you do? Did I overpay? You know?
I know,
And I think maybe I was 5K over, but I'm pretty sure that the homeowners had to spend $3,000 to do what my offer told them to do. So then I felt pretty, oh, sweet. However, guys, like, don't get too concerned if you fast forward so many years and it's appreciating so much more than even caring if you paid $5,000 over.
That's why if you hold properties long term, you're 99% of the time you're always going to win. Like if you hold it 5 years minimum and go to 10, 15 years, you're going to win no matter what you paid.
And now as realtors now, like how many times are the clients like nickeling and diming the 2,000, 5,000, and you're just like, just get it. Like,
like all my properties, most of my properties, I paid almost full market value, and even the asking price sometimes, because I knew what the others didn't. It was in a good area, you tried to get a quality tenant, I'll pay that price, and I looked stupid then, now
you're lucky.
I'm the fruitful investor.
They'll say, oh, you're so lucky that you got that so back then, or something like that. So many people like this, and what I always like to say on my channel is that just ready, shoot, aim. Like get close, pull the trigger, and sort it out afterwards, because like, you know, I went down there and I'm naive and I thought I have a lease, and I knock on the door and I say, where's Sabrina? And then Sabrina lives in Vancouver. And I was like, okay, well, where is Sally? Sally lives in Halifax. And I'm like, well, like, I have a legal document. I thought like the lawyers, like I thought this whole thing goes normally and people do everything properly. And then she's like, we pay $400 and it's always been like this. And I'm like, okay. But you just kind of like,
you just roll with it.
You roll with it. They were, the beauty of it was students, so the turnover is so high. And
that's good.
Then they're out, higher rent, live for free.
It was all good. So it worked out perfectly. But the thing we stress a lot, me and Jeff, is you want to work with a real estate investing expert realtor. So maybe you don't have those situations, or like when you're talking about the fire rating on the deal you buy, we know about those things to ask for those things. An average Joe realtor would just help you buy the house, and it might be illegal and you don't even know, right? So.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of realtors out there that are just like behind the scenes. What they're talking about is like I don't care, I just want the commission. Like, they're using you just as a paycheck. Whereas so now that we live for free, us as a realtor, we're not forcing you to buy anything. It's no stress off our back. It's way better for us to just coach you better than to quickly get a commission. And like, because like so many of these realtors, that's one of the beauties. When I lived for free and now I became a realtor, I wasn't stressed during deals. I didn't have to force the clients, even on day one, to like, you should buy this because I need to pay my mortgage, right? Like,
where did you learn most of your investment knowledge? You know, you're talking about Rain. Was that kind of the place where you learned?
So after that, I joined Rain, and it was funny because Rain was teaching all these strategies, and there was a lot of aha moments, being like, oh, I did that on my deal because I was coached by my Rain buddy.
Perfect.
So like, yes, I had a realtor, but I had a good Rain buddy who was teaching. So we always talk about the network. That kind of helps, and to this day, I'm even joint ventured with him right now.
Awesome,
and like, you do a lot of joint ventures, and to me, that was an easy way to get the second property. Was I had capital, they had a deal, and I put it together, and to this day, I get a cash flow check from them, and I don't even know the tenants' names.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the best way to be passive. Business in the background, chilling on the beach. That's exactly what we're trying to build. So.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'm really jealous of like your laptop lifestyle and like all the originally when I started off buying that property, I just wanted more and more cash flow. It's kind of what Rain teaches, because then you're like, ooh, this can replace my job kind of thing.
For sure.
But then, you know, eventually you want to build up that reserve in case something happens. You can't live off of the cash flow 100%, right? So I learned all from there, and eventually became a realtor and used those strategies to help me as a realtor, which was awesome because, you know, it's so many junior realtors, you don't know where to begin, and at least we've bought houses before, and you become, you're just coaching somebody with the same experience that you've already done. So it just becomes, day one, it was super easy.
Exactly.
And then here we are at one of your flips.
It happens quick, man. You don't really realize that you do one deal, then you do two, then 3, 4, 7, 10, and you don't really realize it. And a lot of people get overwhelmed with, how do I do 10 deals? How can I be like Jeff and Matt McKeever and all these people? Just start with the next deal. Just focus on the next one, and then before you know it, you'll be up to 5, 10, 15 properties. And then by the time you get there, you realize how like open it is. That 15 properties or 20 properties is nothing. There's guys we know who have 50, 100, 150 properties, and they're playing at a super high level, right? So don't get down on yourself, just focus on the next deal.
One at a time, absolutely. Buying that property, I was able to live for free on one property, so it is possible. I'm not sure if it's 100% possible in Kitchener, but definitely it's possible in London, Ontario.
Definitely,
Okay, so it is here, and it's like, all the new investors out there, this is the way you should do it. And if you can't
100%.
buy multifamily, because I would have had to put down 10% for the triplex, if you're at the duplex level or the single family, if you're at the single family, start renting it, buy a 5-bedroom house and start renting it out to your buddies. That's like the easiest way to get into house hacking. Like no barrier to entry on that one. 5% down, buy a normal house and do that. If you want your own space after that, I'd go the duplex route, and for the advanced strategies, it would probably be to like buy a 4-plex to start at 10%, then a duplex, and then buy your like forever home or something like that. That would be like the easiest quick hacking for most Canadians.
That's something I wish I did, because I didn't even know about rental hacking back in like 2012 when I bought it. But I wish I did, because buying a duplex is a great way for a new investor to get in with only 5% down again. Like when I bought my first property, it was just a townhome that I lived in for a very short time, and then I bought the next townhome, and now we bought the next primary residence. But I should have done the multifamily route, which a duplex, another duplex, and then the single family nice home with a yard, etc. I wish I kind of did that, but that's something I get asked a lot, is how do I get in? I can't afford 20% down. I don't have $60,000 when I'm in 21 years old or college or whatever. Buy your first house with 5% down, and then take that equity in 3 or 4 years, refinance it, buy your next one, and just keep saving up, and then buy your primary residence with your nice private home, right? So more long-term thinking, less short-term thinking, which is what the average people do out there, right? Very short-term thinkers.
Yeah, exactly. So I was in like the 2-bedroom, where the 3-bedroom and the 3-bedroom above were rental income. But at one point I put a buddy in one of the rooms and took an extra $400 or $500 off of him.
Great option.
Because these people were actually, I was always like, oh, I wanted my own space in there, but actually they're off to work a lot.
Yeah.
Because they have to pay you rent.
Exactly, yeah.
So I was just sitting at home and figuring out the next contract to go do and to go make capital, not just, I didn't want to go get a job or anything like that. So, and then here we are, it's 2018 now, and it keeps going forward and more opportunities. And that's how I'm able to put on the OREC kind of stuff now. And then we're going to be, hopefully we'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. I'm there.
So we're going to do a Vegas real estate experience coming up this fall. So make sure you guys hopefully come on over to my channel.
Yeah, go to Jeff's channel, Jeff Wybo, follow him, keep in touch with him. He's got a ton of events coming out. Like he said, the one in Vegas, we just did the one in OREC in Ontario. There's lots of wicked stuff coming up from him, so you definitely want to check out Jeff Wybo.
Yeah, because if you go all the way back to when we began, we didn't have these networks.
No,
these networks are here now, guys. So you guys got to like come out and meet us. And
they're more personal. We're more, I feel, more accessible than what the big guns are in the bigger groups, right?
100%.
We're easily accessible. Hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, you know, message.
And I do like my limo tours, which you've ran my Kitchener one for me. And that's a great way to come out and meet me, Matt McKeever. And then when you're texting Matt McKeever and I about like, can you give me some private deals or something like that? Well, I know who you are. You're not just a random text now.
Exactly.
Come on out to the limo tour. Come out to the Cash Flow to Go Kitchener meetups, something like that, and just say hi. And then I know who you are. I put a face, and I can give you a good deal. I don't need to, a random Toronto phone number calling me asking for my greatest deal so I can get a commission. So, so that probably happens.
Yeah, definitely.
So, anyways, thank you for having me on your channel.
Thanks for being on this channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, please click like right below. It goes a long way to get these videos, to get more views, so I can help more people like you learn about real estate investing. If you want to find out more about my 12 free video series on how to invest in real estate, you can click on the link right below again and get free access to that. And to find out about my apprenticeship program, about how me and you can buy properties one-on-one, we can renovate sweet properties like we did with this one with a partner, you can find out more about that by clicking right about here. I'll see you in the next video.